Hi, this is Kelsey Small here at the Ooni Test Kitchen, and today we're going to show you some simple tips and techniques for cooking a great steak in your Ooni oven. So, first step for cooking a steak is you want to preheat your cast iron skillet. We've had the oven going for about 30-45 minutes, and it's about 670. So we're gonna take our cast iron and put it inside the oven. We're gonna let it preheat for 6 to 10 minutes. With the flames coming above the pan in the Ooni oven, you don't wanna put oil on it because that'll cause flame ups and it'll cause it to burn the oil. So it'll be super acrid and bitter when you put your steak in there. So while our cast iron is heating up, we're gonna season our steak. We have a ribeye right here. It's about 1.5 inches thick. It's been sitting out at room temp for about 20 to 30 minutes right now. And a great thing for your steak is to bring it to room temp before you cook it, so the meat is all the same temperature from the thinnest part to the thickest part. And we're gonna season it with just salt and pepper. And we'll season our steaks pretty liberally. You kinda want a good coat of salt on your steak. And we'll flip it over. And then we're gonna take the black pepper and give it a good crack. And we'll flip it over. And what I like to do is just kind of get the sides as well with all the excess salt and black pepper that's fallen off. Our cast iron has been preheating for about 5-6 minutes. It's pretty hot already. So what we're gonna do is turn our flame down a little bit and we're gonna oil our steak. We wanna oil the steak as opposed to the cast iron because it'll help it not stick. It'll give it a little fat to cause like a nice crust, but it'll also prevent it from burning. We've turned our flame down, our cast iron is ripping. We'll just pull it out a little bit. And we're gonna cook this steak in the front of the oven. Now I like to do the fat side, facing the flame first. You can hear that great sizzle. So it's been about 3.5 minutes on our steak. And one thing that's important to notice is that as opposed to a grill, you have this cast iron heating it on the bottom and the flame heating it on top. So it's cooking on both sides. It's gonna cook a little quicker than a normal grilled steak. So you have to be wary of that and check its temperature. It's been 4 minutes, so we're gonna give it a flip. As you can see, the top is getting some browning. The bottom has got a nice crust. Get some rendered fat. We're gonna put it back in there just for 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna give it a 10th. So it's been 3 minutes since we flipped the steak. We're gonna pull it out and give it a 10th. So we're reading at around 115, which is a little under medium rare, but it's gonna carry over a little bit since it's been cooking in such a high heat oven. So we're gonna just take it off the cast iron, let it rest, and we're gonna baste it in a little bit of butter. All right. So I have some butter that I've melted down with garlic. And normally when you're cooking a steak, you baste in the pan, but with the cast irons and the Ooni oven, I don't wanna cause any flare-ups. So I'm just gonna baste it as it's resting. And just give it a good brush. This will help flavor your steak. We're gonna rest our steaks for about 5 minutes. When you're cooking a steak and you slice into it right away, all your juices are super active, so they're gonna pour out as soon as you slice it. Resting it will let the meat and the juices inside the steak settle down, so when you slice into it, you don't lose all that flavor. You have a nice, tender, juicy piece of meat. So our steak's rested for 5 minutes and we're gonna slice into it. So we're gonna take our steak, we're gonna put it on our cutting board, and we're gonna slice this guy against the grain. When you're cutting a steak, you want to cut against the grain. If you cut it with the grain, it'll become really chewy and you'll lose some of the juices and it's not going to be as good. So we're going to slice this bad boy. Oh, this looks great. Oh yeah, and then we have a nice pink center. We have a great sear on the outside. This is a medium rare steak. That's awesome. So that's a simple way of how to cook a nice steak in your Ooni oven. For this recipe and more, head over to ooni.com.